Aloha everyone, this is Christopher Laksmi-Ditton and I'm saying aloha from San Diego. And if you get into this live today, please say aloha and where you are listening from, even when you are listening this a little later. Would be really nice to hear from you. And if you hear me well, give me also thumbs up so I know that everything is working fine. So I believe that we all have been born here with a hidden treasure box, and that hidden treasure box actually has all of our talents inside. And if we start to use those talents, we actually will be able to start to create holistic abundance, which then will help us to manifest the inner fairy tales we have inside of us. And for years, I have helped people to do that, and it has been such an amazing journey. And during the last years, I've actually focused more and more about health issues as well. And in this journey, I have discovered many different things. I've done extra research, and this is why today's topic is about sugar. So I will first talk about where I got this idea, and to talk about it today, what happened in my personal life, and then we go into the points why sugar is bad for you. We then talk a little bit about the connection to alkaline and acidity and even cancer. And then I will give you some ideas how sugar can be good for us, and then what can we do in order to kind of, balance things out so that sugar wouldn't be our enemy. So this is the plan for today. So during this Christmas time, we visited Michael's mom, who usually cooks lots of amazing Christmas cookies. Her tradition is to do at least 400 of those, and then she gives most of those away. And as we were there, they are super good, like kind of like tannish style cookies. So it's really hard to say no. I managed to do it more than usual, but still, I kind of started to overeat a little bit of sugary things. And because this year I have changed my menu one more time, I have worked out more. So in many ways, I have created more balance health-wise and all the other levels as well. So this is also why when I overdo something like with this Christmas, with sugar, then things actually start to, like my body starts to give me feedback instantly. And then I know like, okay, now I overdid this, so how can I take care of my body? And the first thing I did, of course, was, which is also oftentimes people don't do, is I basically asked forgiveness from my body that I did that, because it was just so good. I just wanted to experience this. And later I will share how we can do more conscious choices in connection to situations like this, And I was so lucky because this year I've actually lost over 30 pounds, and I've kept up my regime with my gym and workouts and so on. And now I'm even luckier because Santa brought me a nice Garmin watch, so I can measure more of my activities and see where I am. So it feels like I have like additional accountability partner there. So everything what helps, why not? So here I will share with you some thoughts why sugar is bad for you. So this is based on several different researches I have done over the years, and also some on my own personal experience. So I'll say directly that I'm no doctor. I have no medical background. So this is based on my research and my experiments and my experiences. So I would recommend you to listen, make notes if this works for you, put some of it into works and experiment with it as well, and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So use it as that. So So sugar causes our glucose levels to spike and plummet. So if we overdo sugar, we will have mood swings, we may have fatigue, headache, we may also have false food cravings. In addition, also, it may kick us out of emotional balance. And this is something I actually experienced after overdoing a little bit with the Christmas cookies. I couldn't sleep. I was very nervous. My energy and emotions were all over the place. And I could also feel some things with my body were not functioning the way they usually do. And now I've already discovered how my body is giving me signs when I've overdone it, and also when it's too acidic, and other things like that. So it's a good like kind of wake up call, like, hey, you did like a little overdo here. So, and one of the main things is also if you overdo sugar, you may get the risk of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. And obesity is and diabetes is something which is like a major problem, I think, all over the world, but especially here in United States. So it's something to really, look at. There has been done research where it's also said not only can overdoing sugar, influence your immune system, it can actually also influence, somewhat cancer cells, and some influence they have seen is actually that candida is connected to, also like different ways of how it kind of helps to develop more of cancer in different parts of the body. And so if we eat more than normal sugar, it can actually also start to develop and feed those cells. So this is a really interesting new research which has been actually out there for a while, but not very popular, because then then it would create problems for other organizations and functions. So, but this is something to look into at. So also too much sugar may make you older faster, and also create your wrinkles, So especially for the ladies, if you want to stay young and less wrinkles, so cut down the sugar. Very easy, right? So it's pretty bad also for tooth and teeth. So if you overdo it, so you definitely need to take care to brush your teeth more often, so that it doesn't create issues there. Also, when we have gum disease, it can actually influence also our heart. This is also one research which has been recently done. So interesting connection there. In one of the universities, they actually did a little research on when they actually changed the lunch menu and took more sugar off it. All the students were actually performing academically much better, and also they were more cognitively kind of active and open. So a really good point, if you're working a lot with mental capacity. So there is something to think about. So too much sugar increases stress, which is also one of the reasons which actually can kick in more acidity in your body. So that's no good either. So to avoid that, is one of the ways is to actually, meditate or work out more. So different ways which work for you, And if we eat too much sugar, then what happens is that many of the very important vitamins may actually, not get integrated into our body, because it just takes over. So not a good thing to have. So when we are actually also looking into the connection of sugar and alkaline and acidity, nowadays you can actually go to the pharmacy and get the little strips which can help you to figure out, where your sugar levels, the acidity or alkaline is, and then after you do that, you know like what you should look more. So if you eat too much sugar, you create more acid in your whole body and system. So in order to avoid that, is basically to know which foods are alkaline and also which food are acid, because if you have too much acid in your body, you may have issues like fatigue, joint pain, headaches, chronic pain, stiff neck, sluggish, depression, brain fog. So, and alkaline foods, for example, are spinach, broccoli, carrots, cauliflower, strawberries, and acid is flour, meat, eggs, sugar, chocolate, cream cheese, coffee, soft drinks, fruit juices, and popcorn and nuts. And then, of course, there is more. But now, to really get like a little overview, what is going on, is really good to actually take like a week where you write down what you eat and then try to figure out, also kind of measure how many calories, how much sugar everything you are kind of eating is consisting of, because then this gives a really good overview where you are. Because most people, if you have eaten wrong or done stuff wrong for a long time, you have no idea. Your body also doesn't know different, so you feel it's normal. So one of the huge things which is actually missing in nowadays education system is how to eat healthy and better. And this is why we have to now find that information ourselves and experiment what works for us, and according to our body weight and health situation and issues we have, figure out that balanced diet for us. So one of the ways then to kind of kick in, so to say, more make your body more alkaline pretty fast, is to do also lemon water. So they say, just one slice of lemon and squeeze it into the water, and a glass of that, like before you even wake up properly, would be helpful. And also 1 teaspoon of baking soda plus cup of water is really good. Sometimes they even say to take that like 30 minutes before eating, so it kind of neutralizes, or after eating, so depends. So and also more exercise, because with exercise what also happens is that you push out unnecessary toxins. And when you push out those unnecessary toxins, then your whole body will get also less acidic, because that's the natural thing to happen. And then of course it's good to limit alcohol, because that's like poor acid, and eat less acidic foods. Also you could drink alkaline water. There are certain machines which nowadays actually can make alkaline water. In some places they even sell alkaline water, so it's really good to check. Then different multivitamins support that as well. And raw unsalted almonds help to build up more calcium and magnesium, and balances acidity as well, plus the blood sugar. That's a good one, which I didn't even know that way. And then of course reduce intake of sugar through like soda, candy, cake, ketchup even, reduce caffeine and reduce stress, and also smoking. Who would have like thought that smoking can also influence your acidity, you know? So, and also when you start to do, you know, reading the labels and calculating and so on. So one of the good things to think about and calculating is that 4 grams of sugar is actually 1 teaspoon of sugar. So if you see on the label, there is like 26 grams of sugar, try to estimate like how many teaspoons that is. So that's going to be like quite an interesting calculation to figure out. I saw also once a documentary where they took a whole group of people and they wrote down like what and how much sugar they ate per day. And then they actually measured it by teaspoons and showed them like, are you aware that this is the amount of sugar you're actually eating every day? And of course, they were all shocked because you don't think about those things. So, and little new habits started to help them to change that. So, like one of the things which I noticed myself was, you know, when we drive somewhere, we have a toilet break and, you know, go to the petrol station, and oftentimes, you know, it's kind of a habit like to buy a snack, you know, but then be prepared. Go to a trip and have your snack already prepared. So your apple and your almonds, for example. So you save money, you save time, you save also, you know, don't eat in so much acidity. So a good thing to do. So also kind of look into where you could eat more natural sugar, you know. So you know, there are lots of different foods which have it, like, you know, honey, maple syrup, fruits, beets, carrots, you know. Do a little research and how you can get it from these different foods, you know. And then think of the, you know, conscious choice. So now I know that, you know, for me, for example, to lose like 450 calories means like 1 hour really kind of high speed bicycling in the gym. So by thinking, okay, this is the amount of calories, and then I have a piece of chocolate there, so I know like, okay, this equals for 1 hour in the gym or 2 hours in the gym. So the main issue also with extra weight is that we take in too much and we don't use all of these calories. So if you want to balance things out and also start to lose weight, you actually have to lessen the amount of calories you take in and do more activities and exercise. And this is the way you kind of start to lose weight. That's a very simple thing, you know. So one of the things also oftentimes is connected to sugar is that we think that, you know, it's making me feel good. And yeah, if you really feel bad and just take this one candy and, you know, you eat it slow and you enjoy it and you do it consciously and you stop when you kind of are done with this one piece, then you don't need to feel guilty because this is okay. You know, move enough, you, everything else is in balance. Or the same, you go and visit someone and they do like really beautiful cake, and that's just one cake doesn't kill you because you know, eat normally other times. So it balance things out. So very good. So, and then there is a recommendation that a woman could eat 1.5 to 2 cups of fruits per day or berries, and men 2 to 2.5 cups. So that's a good way to also kind of get your sugar intake in a natural way. And then also they recommend to actually eat the whole fruit instead of juicing it, because you get more, you know, nutrients plus all the other things more out of it than just juicing it. So that can be a good tip as well. So And then one really good thing is, to consider is that no more than 10% of total calories shouldn't come, like calories coming from added sugar. So to say, they say women should use 6 teaspoons of added sugar daily, and men 9 teaspoons. So not more than that. So it's a good kind of thing to remember too. So before I go to the last bit of suggestions, I also kind of go through a little list why sugar is our friend. So oftentimes people don't know that sugar actually travels to body cells and then provides energy, but also helps to form proteins. So we need a little bit of sugar for that, plus we need extra energy. And it can also boost your brain, especially if you do lots of mental activity. And it can also enhance other flavors. It can help the food color development. It can also stabilize food. So there are lots of different good things as well. And now one little list which I found just actually yesterday was I was doing some cleaning of my computer, and then this popped up, it's from Yoga Body Naturals, and this is a really amazing company. Their head office is based in Spain, and they are behind the beautiful yoga trapeze set up there. And there was this whole, material about sugar. And some of the suggestions in the end are really kind of cool, which each one of us could also kind of put into practice. So here they recommend eat 1 gram of carbs per pound of ideal body weight per day. So this is also, you can estimate, take your height and figure out what is your estimated, right body weight, and then see how many grams of carbs that will be. Focus on clean protein, healthy fats, and low glycemic foods at each meal. So here it's also really well kind of suggested to kind of use more protein and healthy fats instead of too much sugar or carbohydrates. So it's a really good tip. And oftentimes also we don't even know what healthy fats are. So if we are eating animal meat, which is, produced in like farms, what oftentimes happens is also that these farms are actually, there's lots of toxicity, and those animals actually save and have those toxins in their fat. So when you are eating that meat, you're actually eating in those toxins and bad things. So so kind of find out where the food is coming from, what condition the animals have been, and what choices you can do according to that as well. Or even, oils, coconut oil is good, avocado oil is good, but then also you have to see that it's done in a certain way, so it works. It's a little more, expensive, but it's definitely worth it because it's taking care of your tempo. So and then when you go to buy food, so go first to where you have the fresh food, veggies and fruits and so on, and then go to the middle section where you have the rest, canned foods and so on, and then read the labels and see like what's in there, so you are aware. And in no circumstances, it's basically, I say the same thing. If you want to build like sustainable health over the years to come. All these diets and craziness, which I have done so many in my life, doesn't really help. What really helps is a balanced diet and also a really well working exercise schedule. So stop like, starving and doing those crazy diets, which oftentimes it's very hard to keep going like sustainably. So now also with my new menu, when I see when I eat my breakfast, it's so well put together that I'm completely content till my next snack. And what I really liked about this last one is that you have a meal and then you have a little snack and then you have a meal and then you have a little snack and then you have a meal. So some people say that that's not right because then you are digesting all the time. But I believe that it actually boosts the metabolism and also keeps the blood sugar kind of in a more balanced state like that. It doesn't go up and down all the time. So this is something I have been experimenting this year. It has worked for me. And then also snacks. When you talk about snacks, it has to be, not it's like a whole meal itself, but half an apple, a little spread of peanut butter on it, or half an apple with 5 almonds, or pomegranate with slices of almonds and stuff. So it's like kind of different but good healthy snacks, which really work. So and so very good to remember to be moderate in kind of keep everything in balance. So if you are overeating something, then just stop before it's too late, and be just very conscious and aware. And Yoga Body is also recommending to check your morning blood glucose each day upon waking and write it down. So there are different ways to do that, and it's really good. I recommend it too. And one of the other guides who I've been working now is Timothy Ferris, the 4-Hour Body. And here he talks about, how to lose fat and weight, and has done lots of experiments with glucose and like what is influencing it and how, and lots of good material. And it also has additional material actually on online, so you can also see more like videos and things. So okay, so this will be all for today. I hope you really enjoyed this topic, and will watch more of your beautiful body and take care of it better. And this was the last live for this year with me, and I'm sure I will figure out like what and how the next year everything will be set up. And with Michael, we'll also start something exciting, which you will hear more about in a bit. So I wish you all the very best and the most amazing Happy New Year. Mahalo, and thank you all for being here, following, and please share with many who you think would get good ideas from this video as well. Mahalo.